Welcome to Us versus Movies. I'm your host tonight, Dustin, joined by Kevin.
Hi.
We're talking about Red Dot 2021 TVMA, according to Netflix, who produced slash released slash bought this movie. It's a drama, horror thriller, according to the internet, but they're wrong because it's just TVMA. And that don't mean shit. That just means there's some graphic nudity and shit.
Wait, no. Like the genre is just trying to say what the genre.
It's not. That's wrong. It's
What?
You know what this one is? The crime thriller, maybe, is what I'll say. It's a crime thriller, Kevin.
But we know there's no thriller. We know who did it.
Oh, we know that it's a thriller for sure. It's thrilling. It's Swedish with a little sprinkle of English swear words and occasionally like a dude. You know, like
Well,
dude.
I think it can be from Sweden of nationality, but
Swedish.
it doesn't make it English because someone spoke English in it.
No, I said with sprinkle of English swear words. What
But
part
you
of
said
that?
it was Swedish.
It's a Swedish film. There's Swedish people acting in it.
Mm-hmm.
It takes place in Sweden.
Mhm.
And as possibly the only person on this podcast with Swedish blood, I think I know. All right.
Okay. That's all
We're
you
still
had to
waiting
say.
for Kevin's 23andMe to come back. So, but mine I can confirm.
What is that, like a clothing store?
Yeah, it is. It's out of business though. COVID. This film does the thing. I think that you and I'll speak for you, Kevin. We hate this. Fucking both of us hate this with a fucking fiery passion. Don't ever show me the end of the movie at the beginning.
Oh yeah, you can suck it.
Just don't ever do that. If I could fix your movie in one way significantly, it would be that.
To burn the masters.
Yeah. I mean, that'd be the second thing, possibly. Just don't show me the ending. The second thing I'd fix instantly, Kevin, about this movie, because this movie was just begging me to fix it, I feel like.
Really?
Yeah. I would take out the Arsenio Hall
No,
part.
I leave that in there because that's how I knew it was Sweden.
I was just like, what is happening? Why are we at a really bummerific college graduation and she's doing the Arsenio who as her
No one knows what
longtime
that is.
boyfriend. It's the air fist pump.
Yeah,
where
I know what you're talking about, and no one's gonna know what you're talking about unless they saw it and then Googled what you said, and they're gonna be
they
like,
lived through it like we did, possibly.
and they're gonna be
Just
like,
saying.
that was called a thing. I mean, what was she supposed to do? Stand like flash her tits or something?
I just clap loudly, do a woo.
A
But
Ric Flair woo?
Come back to Arsenio. I was just
Maybe-
like, what the?
Well,
Did they
maybe
just now get that show over there?
oh, there you go. Maybe that was
yeah.
like an inside joke between them. That's what I was waiting for him to kind of do it back, and he was like, "No selling that. I don't know her."
He didn't. I was just like, are they together? I'm not. I mean, I saw them for 2 seconds in the beginning of the ending of the movie, but
So yes,
are they together? And then he tried to grab that professor's butt, and I was just like, I don't know. This is a weird open relationship I think they have.
that was weird.
So yeah, we're at a college graduation. Then we're in this weird cafeteria-like area, and our
Wait,
lovely
you didn't even mention you didn't even say what the ending of the beginning was.
Oh, I'm fixing this. I don't want anyone to know that. I want to just fucking move on to that. They might have a better experience not knowing that part, Kevin.
Yeah, but it's going. If they watch the movie based off this chit chat, they're going to be like, "Assholes didn't tell me about this."
Yeah, and they'll be like,
Unsubscribe.
they were right. I should have just hit skip for 30 seconds and blew past this part.
Wait, did you even say what the movie's called?
Yeah, Red Dot, dude.
A red dot 'em. Got him.
The third thing I'd fix about this movie, since you made me say the title again, if you're gonna call your movie Red Dot, and the premise is that a red dot shows up on some people and freaks them the fuck out, you better have that red dot show up at least 3 fucking times, not once. 3. Okay, see how I didn't say 2 anyone because it never shows up again. So,
Well, you know what? I didn't know the premise of the movie, so I thought since we were going back in the 90s with the Whoop Whoop Arsenio Hall, that it would just be a movie about a kid with a laser pen in a theater, and that was called Red Dot. He just kept
he's like,
putting
I'm
on the
ruining
screen.
all the movies. Fuck
Yeah, he
you,
would
Billy Madison.
like the first act of his asshole story arc was he's licking gummy bears and he's throwing them to the movie screen so they stick. So he's
That
fucking up the
ruins the
picture.
screen. It ruins the screen.
And he's like, I need to really up my game. And then he goes down to the 7-Eleven where like his mom works and he's always getting bullied. And then his mom's like warming up the nacho cheese and she turns her back and he's like, you're going to do your homework
using
right.
the machine.
You're going
He's
to do
like,
your.
Mom, just use the machine. She's like, no, it's just more love when I do it.
It's clogged with the cheese that I have to clean off. You know I do the late shift, Dustin. And she turns her back and he sees.
Dustin.
Yeah, just it's a coincidence. And then he sees the laser pin and he's like, whoa. And then he grabs it and then he runs away. She's like, but you forgot your cheese. And then he's back.
In her hand. She's like, it's so hot.
Yeah, and she cups it in her hand. She's like, I'll save it for later. And she puts it in her breast pocket and it just sears her to her skin. And then he goes back to the movie theater where his dad works as a custodian. And he sneaks in through the custodian's smoking door. And he goes in there and he's like, I'm going to see the movie that everybody wants to see this summer. And I'm going to ruin it. And then it just punches in on his face. And then the laser dot thing. And then some couple going up with popcorn going, is this the movie that keeps our relationship together, Doris? And she's like, yeah, I hope it doesn't get ruined. And he just looks into the camera.
He's like, tee I'm going to ruin it.
Red Dot this summer.
This summer.
That wasn't what I saw.
That was not at all what the movie was. At all. No. But we're at this college graduation. The loving couple, Nadja and David.
What's her name?
Just Nadja.
Nadja.
Not
Nadja.
Nadia. Whatever. It's
Nadja.
late and this
You must
took
have
too
read
long.
ahead, everyone. Take that movie.
Nadia and David, they're just enjoying some champagne.
They're like a weird nerd couple where they're like real smart. They're not real lovey-lovey. They're kind of this weird like platonic fucking I love you, but don't touch me.
Yeah, it's very. And so he's like checking his phone, and he's just like, "All right, I gotta go to the toilet.
Gotta take a dump."
Yeah,
he's in like, a public place. Everyone,
I got the bathroom. I gotta go get my bathroom shitter on. So he runs down these stairs, goes to this very blue bathroom. It's all blue tile. Sits down on the crapper and calls the radio station that's playing overhead to propose to his girlfriend on the toilet.
That's what I thought. I was like, hey, romantic, calm down.
Yeah, and he's trying to read this long-winded shit, and they keep cutting him off, and he's just like, no. And then finally, they just play a fucking song.
Sir, we're trying to play Limp Bizkit's "Rollin'. Will you shut the fuck up?" He's like, I'm here to propose.
It's like such a romantic song. Roll.
I mean, dude, someone played that and proposed to me. Oh, fucking put a ring on it. Let's go.
It'd only be better if fucking Fred Durst and Wes. What was his fucking name?
Walk me down the aisle? Yeah, Wes Borland.
Well, I mean, I assumed he'd be marrying one of them. I figured Fred Durst films it.
Well, I'm marrying Nadja.
Wes Borland,
what the fuck's your problem?
Oh, okay. Well, they're giving you away. They're your two dads.
Well, yeah. I mean, I guess Fred's going to be, like the pastor and all this, and then Wes can walk me down the aisle with his like sweet licks on his guitar, and he have the KFC bucket on his homeboy's head, and then I'm just like, yeah, and it's like rolling, married. We're all just wearing red baseball hats, and it's fucking sick.
Full black shirts. You gotta have the black shirts,
dude,
or white, depending on the fucking video.
And when I say I do to Nadja, she just turns to me. We just start fucking pitting it because he starts playing $3 bill shit, and I'm like, oh man, this is when it goes hard.
He's like, I know you're the one true fans.
Yeah, duh. And then I'm just anything off of the
play Faith. He's just like, never Faith, never.
But it's
okay. Here we're gonna do it. It's for this wedding.
play the counterfeit song. That gets me real angry. I just want to start working out and punching stuff on a football field.
But he's on a toilet.
Yeah, the
He's
DJ's just like,
botched. Yeah, the DJ gives no fucks.
he's like, dude,
Okay.
we only got 15 seconds for you to do whatever you're doing, and I cut you off 15 times.
Yeah.
So sorry, buddy. I'm playing Blue Moon River. I was
Yeah.
like, what?
He's like, "Do you like Frank Sinatra? We're playing Frank next." Okay, moving on. Next caller. Yeah. So he's botched his proposal. Everyone above him's heard it. So he's taking a moment. He's taking a moment on the shitter. He's got to put himself together. He steps out, and lo and behold, the woman of his dreams, Fred Durst, is there. No, it's Nadja. Nadia? Was it Nadia? I don't know why I can't say it.
Nadia. Yeah. Well, they spell it a little bit different and that's probably what's fucking you up. You want to say that J really bad.
I do. I really do. And I want to say it in like a Swedish accent that does not exist in my body. So, yeah. So she's just like, "Are you proposing to me? I'm the worst shitter in this town."
He's like, I had some ditties before the graduation. It's coming up fierce, but did you got me?
Yeah. So she says yes.
She's like, was it going to be to Limp Bizkit? He's like, yeah. And she's like, I'd be loving this shit right here. And he's like, oh, babe, you did a thing. Where's the thing?
And then they
like,
fucked on the bathroom floor.
Oh, no. Then one of his colleagues came out and
no, it's the professor that he grabbed the butt hand.
Yeah,
or the butt of. Yeah. And and now he has a butt hand.
The professor came out of the adjacent stall.
Yeah.
I didn't hear a flush.
Awesome.
I didn't hear anything.
No, he did flush.
Well, then he touched the dude's shoulders, like, bro, why?
And it was
your hands.
And he was like, "That was beautiful." And I was like, "Dude, you just did a dookie, and he just proposed, and you want to touch him? Come on, Sweden, get it together, all right? This is not."
He just kind of wiped his hand a little bit on him. He's like, "That's for you."
He's like, "I'm a professor of love.
That's my early wedding present."
Yeah. It wasn't poo. I was masturbating. They're just like,
oh, that's
my love hand. He's just like, oh.
That explains that smell.
And so they're just,
so come and get it.
They're happy. They're in love. They're gonna get married. What could possibly change their entire dynamic, you ask?
Living together,
because that's all we're given as a movie. But Kevin,
year and a half later, dude.
Yeah, a year and a half later, the minute I saw how they were responding and this whole like next scene, I was just like, oh,
two different characters, or the most real couple I've ever seen.
Very real couple. No, it was too painfully close. I was like, all right, come on, ease back, guys. Do a little acting, please.
Well, like the whole thing was, it's David, right? Was that his name?
Yeah, David.
So David tells, it's kind of like they take turns. He's like, I just graduated some MIT bougie ass school where I'm going to get a great paying job. Let's move to the city. We'll kind of just get started there, our lives, and you can go do your college thing. She wants to be a doctor. I heard some dialogue.
Yes.
And so she's kind of now like, dude, I don't want to be a housewife. That terrifies me. I've got aspirations. You did yours. Now it's time for me to put in the work. You got my back on this. And he's like, no problem. I'm going to rock out on this battlefield. And I'm like, bro, those matches can be long. You don't look like you're helping. I do understand.
I'm trying to unwind, Kevin.
I get it, man. But dude, those matches, if he's doing like the big, I mean,
it sounded like it.
It's a selfish move.
He wasn't rocking a headset, so his communication, he was not contributing to it.
So he's probably playing it could be playing team deathmatch. All I know is I love that series as well, and I like that's a time suck. And looks like she's worked, and she's got a little washer over there. That's a small little flat they're in. So I'm pretty sure she's got to do like, I don't know, 1 million loads to wash anything in that thing. Yeah. And plus the lid's broken. You said you were going to fix the lid of the fucking thing, David. Why do you lie?
Fucking David. So that's kind of how she sounds. Yeah, they have a dog. Do not get attached to the dog. The minute I saw a dog in this movie and my dog started freaking out, I was like, God, I hope this dog is in the movie for long. It's not. So.
Oh, yeah.
Just be forewarned. Boris. The dog's name is Boris.
Yeah.
Which is a fun name for a dog. I think if I,
fun name. I'll give that a thumbs up. Thumbs up on that name.
But yeah, so the wash is broken. She's pissed. She's like, I'm just gonna go fucking do laundry somewhere else, David. Just do nothing like you always do. I'll do it all my damn self. And I was like, all right, movie, you're calling me out a lot here. Like, cool it.
I got uncomfortable.
I feel a little attacked. I'm not gonna lie. Then she goes and does laundry somewhere. I don't know where. It seems to be a communal laundry room, I guess. And she is just zoning the fuck out. Like she's just
staring at her phone.
Yeah.
She's not on the gram. She's just staring at the numbers. I'm like, are you gonna call for like pizza?
Oh no, that's a different scene.
Mm.
This is the one where she's staring at the yellow pillow.
Oh, and no, she's staring at the washer. It's spinning, right? Yeah. And I thought that was a really good shot because
it was.
They don't get the camera in the shot. They keep it clear and concise. I mean, they could have used some editing tricks, but the way it was presented, I was like, there's some actually really great set pieces and shots, landscapes in this movie. It's a really beautiful movie at times visually.
Oh yeah, no, there's a few like scenes that like the setting, the opening. I was like, my God, that is incredible. That just looks so fucking beautiful.
Yeah, it looks great.
But then Tomas comes in.
Mm-hmm.
And
she's like, occupado, dude. He's like, oh, I'll come back.
She's just like, oh, sorry, it's probably your turn. I'll just, take all my shit out of the dryer, real damp like, and come back later. And he's like, no.
That, I was like, you offered it, but you're not going to do it.
Yeah, you're not going to do it.
That sounds like
just like, you know what? I got like 5 more minutes.
35 is what I meant to say.
I'm just going to ride it out is really what I'm going to do. So, and then she just suddenly pukes in the sink. She's just like, hey, I know we do communal laundry and this is supposed to be kept clean, but...
And Tomas is like, are you okay? And she's like, you ever eat the Totinos too quickly? I mean, they're so hot, but they're so good. When they're so hot, you just fucking start, oh my God, I'm pregnant. And he's like, oh, you're pregnant?
She's just like, I'm not sick, I'm pregnant. And he's just like, yeah, it does not take a genius to figure out when you just suddenly Ralph in a fucking sink made for clothing. I'm just going to point that out again to you, miss, that you're probably pregnant. So
she's like, why'd you point it out? I did it. I know what I'm doing.
He's like, I just want you to know that it's fucking rude and I will never do laundry in this room again. So, But yeah, and then they talk and she's just like, I don't want to be no mama.
Dude, they don't talk, bro. They have a moment. I'm like, you guys are neighbors? Like, gun to my head, I couldn't tell you who was my neighbor right now, but you guys were just like,
gun to my head, I want to talk to one of my neighbors right now. So.
I mean, but they had the way their dialogue went, you knew they had a prior relationship to some level, and apparently it was very friendly, very close for someone just to divulge that information. So that's like,
she hasn't told David, but she tells Tomas.
Because she doesn't know what she's going to do with it.
She doesn't know she's going to keep the baby.
She doesn't want to be a housewife. She doesn't want to hijack her own future. She doesn't want to like almost let David get away with not getting the paisy backsies. So it's just like,
she's like, he owes me 4 fucking years.
Yeah.
I'm collecting.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she shares this moment with Tomas through kind of their conversation. We come to understand that Tomas has lost a child of his own. And that it's a very sensitive subject.
Just don't even bring up kids around this dude.
Don't bring up kids or drones, okay? Neither are a good conversation for him.
Okay? You might as well just talk about like religion and politics with him instead.
She's like, so how do you feel about that? He's like, not good about this line of questioning at all. And then she's back off. She wakes up to bed and breakfast. It is quite possibly the worst bed and breakfast I have ever seen, Kevin. Watermelon.
It's tea and watermelon. That might be her. That might be her favorite snack, dude. Who are you to fucking judge?
For breakfast? Who the fuck's waking up and is like, I want to spit seeds?
People love fruit, dude. Maybe if you ate a piece of fruit,
watermelon. I love fruit, Kevin. I've never once woken up and I'm like, fucking watermelon. Hell yeah.
Yeah. Well, you don't live in Sweden, married to David, so suck it.
It's just I've gotten used to it. He brings me watermelon, I eat it. That's just, that's how we do it now. That's married life.
Well, don't forget about the little note that sends her on a note quest.
Yeah. He's like, go to the bathroom. She takes a shit. She looks and sees the washing machine's fixed. She's like, oh.
There's a toque.
Another note.
There's a toque and some gloves with another note or a beanie.
Go to the hallway. God, I hope you really got dressed already, but maybe if you didn't, whatever, fuck it, go to the hallway.
There's some skis, there's another jacket, like a real I'm going to be cold jacket.
Yeah. He's like,
I'm pretty sure it's a triple fat goose. I'm pretty sure it was a triple fat goose.
Oh, it had to have been.
Since we're staying with the 90s motif.
And then she goes downstairs with none of the shit. She brings none of the shit with her.
She comes out with a robe like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah. David's
She's real crusty to her.
With the dog, with Boris. He's like, Boris, you think mommy's gonna come down?
Boris
I was just like, I don't know. You guys
dog.
are real committed to this fucking car already, though. So, and she's just like, what the fuck? And he's just like, let's go take a trip. I called in sick today. Cough, cough.
She's
just like,
son of a bitch. I'm in.
No way. Not my David. My David fucking puts in OT. He doesn't call in sick. But no, he's in. She's in. They're on their...
like, check out this little bed and breakfast thing.
Yeah.
But we got to, like, hike to it.
I'm going to, like, hike to it. We got to deal with, like, the Northerners.
The elements and the Northerners.
Yeah. And so, here's where the movie tries to mislead you. And it will try from the rest of this point on to mislead you. Did you, I'm just going to ask, Kevin, I'm not going to assume, were you misled?
No.
Yeah.
It tries to throw these swerves, these I don't want to say mulligans, these red herrings.
Yeah, they're the reddest of all red herrings. Where you're just like, yeah, I've seen like 100 movies do this. I not for once was just like, oh, maybe that is what's happening. No, I was just like, just get to your twist, movie. Come on, hurry up. But so they drive, they stop for gas. The classic gas stop on the road trip. After she pukes a couple times, I should point out. And just the most awkward exchange between four people at a gas station ever captured on film.
Nadja goes out. She's like, hey, I'm going to get some hot Cheetos and Takis. And he's like, cool.
He's like, both? Like, do you need both? She's like, don't you fucking dare.
She's like, yeah, and I'm going to get that new Mountain Dew with no sugar. And he's like, really? And he's like, grab me one. She's like, get it yourself.
Grab me the watermelon, the fucking major melon. It's actually pretty fucking good.
What you call her?
The major melon.
Oh.
That's the only watermelon I'll take in dew form. Okay, Kevin? That's
People
how she
are very confused with those sentences.
A major melon, he's just like, here's your major melon. She's just like, fucking, you do love me.
Everyone, Mountain Dew has this new line of drink called Major Melon. So if that was a very confusing couple of seconds,
just fucking look it up. I'm not doing a sales pitch I'm doing a soft pitch, but I'm not doing a sales pitch. Okay.
Yeah, they know, but maybe
then they'll start buying it, and then I can't get it, and then it'll just be discontinued anyway.
Yeah, they're thinking, did this motherfucker just have a fit? What is he talking about? He just starts yelling melons, and that's the only melon I'll do.
Who is this major melon? He's a Mountain Dew flavor. It's grotesque 90s art. He's got a little helmet on, little 90s cartoon attitude. You're just like, Jesus, who designed this?
Yeah, Limp Bizkit was 2000s. Let's stop bringing up the 90s.
I'm bringing up, no, Major Melon has a very 90s motif to it.
Okay.
This is aside from Limp Bizkit, which came out in the 90s still, Kevin, though. Okay?
Late 90s.
Because the height of their popularity was in the early aughts, okay? Anyway.
So come get it.
Boris walks as human. And then Nadja pumps the gas. Seems about right. She does everything. She's proven it. And then these two guys who I guess have a hillbilly, a Swedish hillbilliness to them, pull up and they're eyeing Nadja. And is it sexual? Is it racist? Kind of both. Mostly the racist part.
So the hillbillies, we'll say hat, no hat, because one guy had a hat, one guy didn't, and one guy was a dog
hat,
whisperer.
No hat, little fat,
That's confusing. So hat is a dog whisperer because he's like, he goes to Boris, and he's like, oh, beautiful animal. He's like, so is your old lady, and the guy's like, that's weird, but thank you.
Yeah, he takes the longest pause to be like,
how do you? What's the retort for that? Like, if some crazy hillbillies told Mike, oh, your girlfriend's hot,
I would just probably not engage with him in the first place.
Well, they kind of got in his way. It wasn't like he went to go chat with them. They kind of just intercepted him. And I think they wanted to be, they're coming off very aggressive and very like alpha and just slime balls. So this is to kind of cue you up as the viewer of going, ooh, we got bad guy alert.
We got a red herring. I mean, we got a bad guy.
Hillbilly Swedish guy grabs Boris's head and stares him right in the eyes and goes, I'm your fucking master now. And I was like, bro, are you whispering to this dog?
Like, who's a beautiful dog? Who's a beautiful dog?
Boris looks very intense.
And I was like, all right, Boris, are you going to fuck that dog? Because if so, you are definitely a bad
Boris is the dog. Why is the Boris is fucking a dog? The dog is the dog.
Okay, sorry. Let me take two. All right, Hat Hillbilly, are you going to fuck that dog?
Hat Hillbilly, probably. I mean, the dog's cute, but like, you don't got to crush his head and tell him that.
Yeah, no, he did. He was just like, I have always wanted to just grab a border collie's head and shake it like a fat kid's jaws, you know?
I have a dog too. And then you see this like murdered out German Shepherd in the front seat going,
who's hella fucking jealous. He's just like, what the fuck? You're petting another dog in front of me? I'm trapped in this shitty truck. It smells like blood and piss, and urine and blood and piss.
Dogs love that shit. They're like heaven.
Well, he was locked in a deep heaven. But so awkward exchange. They decided to get the fuck out of there because there's some racial undertones of what Hat Hillbilly is saying.
There's a bit of bigotry in there. Yeah. David kind of is shook by this. Yeah.
Surprise! It's everywhere in the world. So
David, you're not special.
We're gonna use this as a plot point, our plot device for this movie.
Well, it's
like
it's
a poor plot device.
It's to hurry up and make these guys bad guys are just disgusting human beings as fast as possible. Not only do they pet your dog without asking, they give you compliments to your girlfriend, and you're such a weirdo you don't know what to do or say. You just let them pet your dog, and then you kind of
dog and stroke your wife.
You back up and you see, oh look, they have a kill in the back of their truck. Looks like some sort of elk, and then there's a firearm back there. And he's just like, oh no, people hunt stuff. And then David goes back around. David is a huge.
No, hold on. We gotta talk about this because David lets Boris just lap up deer blood for like a while. Like he's just like, a dead animal. Hey, don't drink that.
And this kind of goes to my overall vibe of David is, he's kind of a puss. Like he doesn't have a backbone. He just comes off like a real just Nancy, and you're like, man, I don't. Am I supposed to like you? I don't really like you. I think you're kind of you got a little. You're a little bitch made, and I just can't place it. I'll give you some time. Maybe you got to come out of your shell. We'll see what happens.
He's like, spoiler, I will not come out of my shell.
I might regress.
I might burrow in so deep that you're just like, is there a hermit crab in this movie suddenly? But then driving away, David is not the world's best driver.
He's a bit of a dude. Yeah, he just fucking clips this dude.
Yeah, like this car. And to his credit, the car that's pulling into the pump behind him,
I saw that
is
the car
charging in
don't
like
move
a
yet.
Fucking murderer. I was just like, they honked. They're like, get the fuck out! I need gas right now. And it's like, whoa, easy, psycho.
I would be like, hey, you've trapped me in here. I'm not trying to hit the fucking these Quakers. I'm not trying to hit his fucking truck.
Yeah.
Can you maybe back the fuck up? But he's just like, hit him. And then what's your nuts is like, bro, did you just hit him? You want to like leave a note or something? Or you want to wait? He's like, nah, he won't notice. And she's like, bro, like,
it's fine. And then he stops and looks at it. And I'll be honest, Kevin, I can't see shit.
That's not the point, though.
I know, but I can't see shit. But it does establish a pattern with David's driving behavior.
It establishes more of a pattern for David being such a fucking weenie than it does for fucking Duck Dynasty to come and kill these guys, you know? So, Hillbilly Hat, no hat, they're just kind of off doing their thing, probably buying a fucking can of Chew and some fucking Bud Lights or something. And they come back out and it's like, hey, the dog in the car is like, hey, bro, he hit you. And then they're like, oh, thanks.
Yeah, dog in the car's like, dude, it's not good. You should really,
He-
you gotta buff that out now, okay? If you let that shit set,
It's gonna rust. It's gonna rust. That's good. Cancer to a car.
Look at how snowy it is. It's gonna rust.
I'm literally the smartest dog on the planet.
He just blows a bubble out of his ass. He's just like, listen, I did get into the gum earlier. I'm not gonna lie. They're just like, smart dog. Come on.
And there's a lot of stuffed animal stuffing in my tummy. We should probably go to the vet.
I'm gonna need to be pumped again. It's just like, for the
Put him
smartest
down.
dog on the planet, you sure are stupid. He's just like, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die.
Credits.
Yeah. So then they're back on the road. Then they pull up to this hotel ? I don't. It looked kind of like I don't know, barn, like a really big barn that people were visiting. They park their shit. They go inside. And who should be in the dining room? They've been driving all day to this place.
You're skipping a total huge part.
What huge part am I skipping?
Where they see his car later on.
Whose car? The hillbilly's car?
Yeah.
No, I think you're skipping ahead.
Maybe.
Yeah, you're skipping it because then after that they just pull up to the hotel. And the hillbillies are dining. They're dining, and he's real nervous.
Okay.
And then they go to the counter. The woman looks at them, looks at Nadja.
I remember now. I got it.
Yeah, and walks away in a panic. And this guy comes out, this very friendly guy.
Oh, well, by the way, we
Jarm.
should probably mention David is the pasty white dude.
Yes.
And Nadja, I can't tell if she's of Indian descent or Ethiopian of some kind. Possibly Asian. Yeah.
Well, I mean, over in Europe, she's just Swedish, but she's darker skinned.
Well, I'm talking about her overall nationality to make her stand out. So we have this hillbilly hat, no hat. They're kind of going to look at her and be like, here's our bigotry. Because we know, because we've seen the movie. You, as the listener, be like, what the fuck's the problem? What are you
They're
guys
like,
talking
which
about?
one are they racist towards? Yeah, no, that's our bad. Yeah, for sure. But so, Jarmo, which, great fucking name for a dog or a person. He comes out and he's just like, that's Mona. She, just doesn't like strangers.
I like she's in the wrong fucking profession.
Yeah, she's like, it's not a race thing. And then stares at the audience and is like, are you buying this, audience?
And I go, if you have to announce it's not a race thing, it's most definitely a race thing.
Yeah, it's most definitely a race thing. It's like,
and the movie's just like, what's up? Who's going to do the action? I'm like, please stop.
yeah.
Movie, pull back a little bit. The
Like,
movie's
no,
like, I'm trying to create tension, you fucker.
Yeah, so David just wants to get going. We're told they're going to spend 3 nights there, but one of the nights is going to be out in the wilderness to see the northern lights. And he's just like, you got to fuck under the northern lights. And they're just like, okay, sure. He's like, no, I'm serious. I am serious. Chinese people come here to fuck under the northern lights. If you don't do it, you're wasting your goddamn time here. But also stay warm. And they're just like, oh, okay.
I was like, is that in the pamphlet? Like, what?
What part is that? What is this? So they're just like, yeah, we're going to go to our room. Next morning, everyone's cleared out.
No, dude, he scans the room because David's
mentioned that they're there.
Oh, they kind of do the eye lock, and then the hillbillies no hat leaves.
Yeah, they're just like, we're out of here. The guy hit our truck and didn't say shit.
For more suspicion, for more attention.
Dun, dun, dun. And so next morning, everyone's gone. There's only one car there. It's their car. They go out, and someone has written a racial slur on this. I don't even know what to call it. It looked like a sticker, but it was a magnet because they just pull that fucking thing right off. He's just like,
yeah, that was weird. I was like, what did they tag it with?
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck? And has scratched their car.
Did they scratch the car?
Yeah, it's so slight where it's just like, oh, I mean, I guess you can kind of see it, you know? I mean, it was scratched. Like, he was staring at a scratch. It just wasn't a very deep scratch. So they're obviously upset about this. Someone scratched the car, wrote racial things on their little weird license plate, or not, like back car magnet
Well,
sticker
what had
thing.
happened is they had a sticker that said coexist, and then they just covered that up with something racist.
Yeah.
And then they were just like, well, fuck that. We got problems with these guys.
Yeah, we got problems now. So they're on their way, and then they see Hillbilly truck. And she's like, pull over. And he's just like, no, let's not do this. Let's not go to war with these hillbillies. She's like, pull the F over. If you won't do it, I'll do it. Fucking writing racial shit on my car and scratching it. I don't think so.
David slows the car down, and then she opens her side, and all of a sudden you hear, boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
Boom, 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 boom.
And she fucking scratches the shit out of this truck. Scratches the shit out of it. No, a hat guy comes out. He's not wearing a hat currently. Very confusing to this story. And he's just like, what are you doing? And she's just like,
he's legitimately confused.
Yeah, he's just like, what in the holy fucking hell are you doing? Why are you doing this? No hat guy comes out of the toilet. He's just like, what the fuck? My car. Why have you done this to my car? And she's just like, fuck you, racist cunts.
Run away.
And she runs, and he's just like, hey, German Shepherd, I'm about to fucking give you some brain trauma. She runs, she jumps in the car. The German Shepherd, he's got no brakes. He hits that fucking car of theirs so hard. I was like, oh, you poor damn dog. And then they peel off, and she's just like, woo, I'm alive. I'm alive with excitement. Because I'm breaking the law. And then they're just like, all right, let's go camping. So
I don't know if I'd want to go camping after just...
Yeah, I mean, it's like, this is their... Like, you just picked a fight with the locals, and now you're going to go camp in their backyard.
Yeah, exactly.
Seems like maybe the trip's over.
Spitting in God's face on that one, aren't you? You're just like, come on, what are you going to do? You going to come and get some?
Yeah, so they're just like, fuck it. We're going to park poorly and very visibly and ski across. And it like, beautiful area they were. Just fucking beautiful nature. And they go and they get some camping spot just on the ice out in the middle of fucking nowhere. Cue the Northern Lights, the CG, of course. So, you know. And then they're just sitting in sleeping bags, not talking to each other. And then he does some horrible wolf joke. And I was just like, what are you guys doing? And I think this is where the flashbacks start happening, is on this part where Nadja starts flashing back to tender moments with David. And you're just like, oh, okay, that seems like a nice.
She's trying to remember if she loves this guy, is what it felt like to me.
That's exactly. That's what it felt like. I mean, it turns into something different for sure, but that's definitely what I thought too. It was like, oh, she's trying to get her love back. And then she tells David she's pregnant. He's like, we're going to be parents. He's excited.
Can we call it Boris Part 2?
Can we call it Boris? We'll kill the dog. I don't know what accent that was. He just came out. Slipped out, everyone. And then suddenly, there's the red dot. We got a title, everyone. They're just like, and movie done.
God, everyone, congratulations. All right, let's start wrapping it up. Everyone, thank you so much.
We did it, everyone. Red dot, the movie.
They just stand up out of the tents, real Saturday Night Live ending. They're just like, all right, guys, I want to thank Limp Bizkit for joining us tonight. If,
some guy in a dog suit, and like, and Boris, of course, played by
you guys stay safe
Daniel Day-Lewis.
We'll see you next time. Then everyone starts hugging and clapping and shit. And then someone gets sniped.
Solo. One by one. They don't even move. They just wait and take their turn.
And just tons of credits. You're like, how many people work on this unfunny show? Yeah, you know what? Saturday Night Live's not funny. And I don't care. I don't know if it ever really was. When people go like, oh, it's real hard to do comedy like that every week. Fuck you. Try being funny. You're a bunch of talented people. Come together, write something that's humorous. Not, it sucks. It just sucks. Guess what? All the funny people left. It sucks even more. I don't care if you were on all that. It still sucks. Keenan and Kel sucks.
He's like, I'm not one of the writers, actually. It's those weekend update guys that suck.
They all suck.
Yeah, that's true.
Put Bad Buddy on the show. I ain't gonna watch that. Sucks.
I already saw him at Royal Rumble, okay? I don't need to see him on your show. I saw him live stream riding a train in New York. Suck it.
What?
Yeah, he did that too. He was like riding a train on the top of it.
I don't know what that means.
I mean, there wasn't like a lot more I wanted to say about that. I was just kind of throwing it out there, but now you've made me explain it. So, but anyway, so they tried to shoo off this red dot. Like they're just like, get out of here, red dot. Go on. We're talking about the future and babies. Get out of here.
He kind of just interrupts them.
Yeah, so they just start going to look for they're like kids, and he's just like, a child out here in the wilderness? I think not.
At this time of day?
At this time of day, and located exclusively in your kitchen. Well, can I see it? No. But yeah, they just go outside their tent and just start, waving their hands.
You almost said kitchen.
I did almost. Their tent. And waving their hand, looking for whoever has this red dot pointed at them.
Hey, can you shoot my hands?
Hey, am I a big enough target now? I know it was like a lot harder to shoot me before, but like, what about now? What about now? And, yeah, it's real dumb because then, they shoot something, right? They just shoot. I think they shoot the lamp out or something.
Something like that, or shoot the tent. I remember the tent gets shot.
Yeah.
And then that scares them off, right? They grab some stuff out of the tent and start hot.
Oh, they grab nothing. They just run.
Okay.
Yeah, they just run. They assume it's the rednecks, the hillbilly northerners.
Hat no hat combo.
Hat no hat combo. And so they run for the woods, and they make it to the woods, and then they hear snowmobiles all around. Oh, Boris runs out at some point. Oh, that's what it is. Boris runs out, and they hear a shot. And so they're just like, we've got to fucking go. But we've let Boris die. So, and which, they definitely should have kept the dog alive. That would have been way more useful for them, but whatever.
Really? That dog really did do nothing, dude.
Well, yeah, he could at least barked or something, or been like an easy getaway later.
Yeah, where was he when they had him at 100 knots? You know what I mean? Like, what was he barking at then? He just laid there and sucked. That dog sucked. He sucked.
Listen, I was sadly glad that he was taken out of the movie because, yeah, he wasn't doing anything.
He was terrible.
Yeah. R.I.P. Boris.
The laundry that it was in the washer was more engaging than Boris.
I mean, Boris is like, all right, come on, man. Cut me a break. I'm a fucking dog.
Yeah.
A weird colored border collie. Okay?
I love dogs. You were terrible. You could be the worst movie dog ever.
He's like, have you seen Benji?
I've seen all the Benjis and all the Air Buds. So sorry, Boris.
You
like, lose.
Right. He's like, well, good news. They're about to pull me apart with a fucking snowmobile. So
cool.
Enjoy. Yeah. So David and Nadja, bleh, they find shelter. They find some like decrepit barn or something, and they just like huddle together. And they're just like, yeah, this sucks. And then it's just like, boom, morning. And I was like, okay. Thank you. I guess they survived the night in the elements with their faces exposed, but whatever. Okay. And then they head back to the tent. They're like, we gotta just get to the tent, figure out some shit. Because she's like, let's go to the car. He's like, the car keys are in the tent. We gotta go to the tent. So she's like, fine, fuck it. Let's go to the tent. I hate you, David. Why couldn't you just keep the keys on you like you're supposed to? You dick. If you're ever in a situation where you're gonna be hunted down and murdered, keep your keys on you, people. This is like rule number 1. Why are you putting your keys down? Who puts their keys down, Kevin? Am I at home?
Justin,
no.
How are you going to be rolling if you don't have your keys on you?
Exactly. You're going to get... She's like, we can hotwire you. He's like, I don't know how to do that. And you
Who's doing that?
Don't know how to do
how hard it is to hotwire, especially modern cars?
I mean, I would just want to be in my car. They were parked so close to the road. Like, just...
I don't know. I'm asking.
Get to the car. You're close. No, it's very hard.
How hard it is?
I don't think you can do it without, like,
I was being facetious. I know it's really a pain in the ass. I was watching some like A&E documentary where like criminals were like, "This is how you do the new cars. You hack them," and I was like, "Oh, cool."
Do you know Linux? You're about to. Oh,
I got this Raspberry Pi here, and I got this old Nokia. I kind of plug them together, and your car starts, and I steal it. I'm like, what the fuck?
And I have to call my mom at the same time. Tell her what I'm doing. She calls the cops on me because that's our dysfunctional relationship. But I just can't. I can't stop calling my mama.
Can't stop.
So they go back to the tent, and David's like, "You stay here and lay on the ground." Just so they can shoot you right in the ass. He's played a lot of Battlefield, but he's like, here, you're brightly colored, lay on the ground. Don't stand up and make it harder to shoot.
Get low. Get low, get low, get low.
He goes to the tent. He comes out 2 seconds later, just throwing up like he has morning sickness. And Nadja is just like, I want to see what's going on in here. And she's already in the tent. And he's like, no. Don't look at the trauma of Boris's head in our bed.
I was like, is this the Mr. Pickles show?
It did kind of look like that dog.
It reminded me of that when they do with the title screen. And I was just like, oh, shit.
Yeah. So, yeah, Boris has been
decapitated. Flawless victory.
They've taken all their stuff because, usually when someone chases you off of your tent in the middle of the night, they leave your car keys for you.
Give me the loot. Give me the loot.
Yeah, and he's like, I'll search the tent. By the way, he's already told her he looked through the tent and there's nothing there.
He didn't. He was in there for 2 seconds. Then he got a little pee poo moment.
Really, David? Now's the time you're gonna start telling fucking lies? Come on, man.
And then David's like, you want to know how I search a tent? I just start putting my elbows into everything.
Yeah, I'm a real elbow searcher myself, So I related. I was just like, oh yeah, I totally would have caught this bear trap on my fucking arm.
It was more like a
small marmot,
maybe
type
a lynx
trap.
A lynx
trap. I think it's just like a smaller.
It was for small critters.
Yeah, a critter trap. So he catches that right in his arm, and I was like, well, you're dead. You're dead. You should be dead.
He might not be dead, but his arm is destroyed. Like all the function of your arm, like it just shredded the muscle. It just dug right in there like a beef frank. And he's like, get it off me. And I was like, well, try not to pass out from the pain because I assume that hurts like a son of a bee.
Yeah, try to pass out from the pain. And also, like, you better hope she's strong enough to get this in one. Otherwise, you're getting a pop back.
Isn't there usually like a little lever you have to push it down so it opens up and retracts? You can't just like force it out.
Yeah, if you force it open, you're going to lose your grip. And, because it's going to keep going back. Like the springs are just going to keep going back. But they managed to get it out in one. She takes a foam mattress and just the worst tourniquet I've ever seen in a movie, and just like wraps it around his arm so that he can get hypothermia later. And and then they're just off. They're like, we got to get out of here. Let's go further up the mountain, I guess.
This is kind of the kickoff of what I would say is a series of most unfortunate events.
Yeah. Lemony Snicket is just like, listen, guys.
Wow. Boy, do I got the books for you.
Wow. Wow.
And then part of me thought, I was like, is this David's like karma? Is this his comeuppance, right? Is this just the world looking back at him going, hey, man, you're such a sniveling piece of shit that can't own your own actions that this is what you're going to get back tenfold. I kind of thought that. I was like, well, is the movie just paying him back? Is the universe just going to take a shit back on his head for the actions that he did that are soon to be revealed? And you're like, is that what you're doing, movie? The movie's like, I don't fucking know.
Yeah, I would love to believe that. But at this point, I'll say, Kevin, I was real 50-50. I was like, which one of you is dying? Because one of you is dying, for sure. And I was just like, David should probably have died like 5 times over. So I'm going to say David's suck factor is too high for him to die. So why are you going to kill her? That's what I was just kind of like, at that point I was like, well, either his suck factor is going to run out and he's dead. And that'll be the twist of like, I still killed him. Well, he survived all that and died. Or you're going to kill her.
Yeah, and I wasn't really surprised by any outcome that the movie wanted to share with me. I knew it was going to go that way, and it kind of just reinstilled the fact. But I thought maybe this was her price to pay just kind of sitting idly by and letting his behavior just drag them deeper and deeper and deeper, right?
Yeah.
Because not one time does he ever step up as a leader. He kind of, and then granted, I understand the situation where it's scary, it's intense, you're going to be bumbling through this, you just don't want to get shot and killed. But not really one time do the characters ever try to outsmart their situation or do something, I want to say, rational.
No, yeah.
It kind of like slowly gets worse as the opportunities for them to succeed or to get out of their situations just start becoming compacted. And I'm like, man, somebody make a managerial move and make executive decision with Steven Seagal and Kurt Russell. Make the call. Make the call. And no one does.
The problem is, Kevin, it's like you have. Well, you shouldn't even, I'm not going to say that you have. The movie wants us to believe that they are exhausted, cold, and worn out, and so they're incapable of rational thought.
Well,
but we keep seeing them stop and like look at each other and make rational thought. It's just that anytime they're faced with a challenge, they're just like, "Oh, all rational thoughts are gone."
I completely agree with you, and it's like it's a study of fight or flight, right? You're only going to run so much before you can't take anymore, and you're just either going to bow down to your circumstances or stand up and just say, you know what, if I'm going down swinging, I don't give a fuck now. And I just felt like the movie because it does these little stop and starts with it. As we progress, just really quick I don't know, I kind of want to get into something more poignant.
We have to talk about the ice.
Well, I know I will. Like they traverse through the night as they try to just get away from a decapitated dog head and the steel trap that destroyed his arm. So he's like,
that's in the morning. That's the next day.
Oh, was it? I thought it was at night.
No. There's a whiteout. So like a storm comes and there's a whiteout where it's like basically the winds blow the snow, so you can't see anything.
And don't their pursuers like reveal themselves, but only like the silhouettes because of the whiteout, and they kind of lose track of them?
Well, that is David's delusion, actually.
His fever dream from the probably poison trap that snapped on his arm.
From the blood loss.
Yeah.
And then so they are shot at, so they go down, and more, I'm going to just call them warning shots. And then he's just like, listen, I've played Battlefield. That's a bolt action rifle. He doesn't actually say that. He's like, that's a single shot. It takes 10 seconds to reload. And she's like, are you sure? He's like, it always took me 10 seconds in the game. And so he's like, after the next shot, let's run. So Nadja, she fucking runs. She leaves David for fucking dead. And David needs to get his knees up. David said run, and then David did a light jog. He was just like, listen.
And David, remember, I was bleeding profusely from my arm.
Yeah. She didn't remember. She was just like, you said run, I run. Let's go. David takes one to the shoulder. It does not really slow David down that much. Like, he kind of falls over, starts to hear some heavy metal music, and then just kind of like gets back up and runs. And then cue the whiteout. They're kind of saved, but Nadja ends up on ice. The ice starts cracking because movie. And then David finally shows up. They're yelling for each other, just like a real shoot me, no shoot me, shoot me, no shoot me. But they're saying each other's names. He falls through the ice because,
It's David. He needs to take all this punishment. They Peter Parker his ass. They just shit on him.
I mean, he's had an animal trap on his arm. He just got shot. And so now hypothermia. Let's do it.
And his girlfriend, soon-to-be wife, may not love him.
Yeah, may not love him. May not want to raise a child with him. So he sinks. She tries to save him. She just starts just dunking herself in this frigid fucking cold water. Not very far in. Like, I could feel the love, Kevin. It's like, it was about a face. And then she's got to get back out. Like, and I get it. It's cold as shit, But I was just like, wow, you are putting in the minimal effort, aren't you?
It's literally probably so cold. It just feels like daggers stab in your face. I've been in temperatures like that before, and it's not comfortable. It's not fun. I couldn't imagine it being wet and ice. So truly fuck you, David, you're drowning. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, and that's where I was just like, okay, she's just gonna, he's just gonna let him drown. But no, David, one-armed David, who's just been shot. Okay, let's not forget that he can't use his right arm, he can't use his right shoulder because that's where he's been shot, I believe. Just somehow, he just kicks until he comes to the top, and she pulls him out, and it's just the next scene is them walking through the snow. And I was like, nah, he's dead. Like, hypothermia just took his life.
Dude, he's iced over. There's like cold in his beard, and he's fucked.
He is super fucked. He should be dead. He's not walking. He didn't keep walking. He's dead. He is dead.
I mean, he probably would have went. He probably would have went into shock, really, depending on how cold that was, and the blood loss. His shoulder was probably on fire when he got shot, and it probably went right out.
He's got a fever for sure now.
Oh, dude, he should be
fever and cold. He's dead. He's dead. So he looks pale as fuck, but no, he's walking, and they find a cabin, a rescue cabin. They call for help. They're like, okay, we'll find you after the storm passes. I was like, well, David's dead then. She poorly dresses his wound, gets him naked, and I guess just David is safe now.
He warms him up on the fire, dude.
She warms him up. They light a lot of candles and lanterns.
And then they snuggle.
And then she thinks about loving him again.
Is this the stethoscope part where they listen to the baby?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Yeah, because you're in a rescue cabin.
Yeah, I mean...
It's weird. Like, we have these moments where she's just teetering on whether she should keep it. Is it representation of the love they have? Is it just the anchor that's going to hold her down to be a housewife because she doesn't want to be that? That's beneath her.
Yeah.
And that's kind of really all you get for her motivation and character. And David's like, I played Battlefield. And I was like, well, me too, David. Am I in the movie? No. And that's kind of all you get with them, I feel. You do go back and forth. And just because I can't remember when it happens, there's another flashback. Or wait, is that just the big reveal at the end? Did they do
That's just the big reveal at the end.
Oh, okay. You're right.
No, that we just keep getting the tender moments, her kissing his neck, It's just
she tries to blow him in the car. Oh wait, that's at the end.
That's it at the end too, dude.
Come on. Shit, man.
Come on, man. So, but they share this moment where they're both listening to the heartbeat, and then he makes some hamster joke. He's like, "Are we having a hamster?" And and there's this the cute dorks are back, But you're like, this is weird. You're being chased down. This guy should be dead 5 times over. I'm sorry, but that tourniquet was bullshit. Okay? Then he was shot, and then he fell into ice. Hypothermia would have taken this man's life already.
I mean, I don't want to say it's the equivalent of Jason Voorhees chasing you. You're kind of bro, I'm just going to crash for a minute and just kind of have some life stuff with my girl here. Can you fuck off? I don't want to say it's like that.
It's Jason Voorhees that survived everything and showed up at the cabin.
He's kind of a killing machine. And I will say this, the whiteout probably covered their tracks. Yeah. The guy may have been as natural of a hunter that he was in his own backyard. He could have got turned around a little bit, maybe guessing they went towards the cabin if he knew it was there. I assume he did.
I assumed he had all the time in the world still too,
And that's another thing. The way he reacts with the rifle and the red dot is he's fucking with them. He's trying to get some sort of just, pleasure out of just terrorizing them because he knows he can just end it at any time.
Exactly. Yeah. So the next morning, they went from cuddling in the middle of the night to suddenly being dressed and ready to go. There's rescue.
Well, they're probably
clothes up
throughout
there
the night. So
yeah, and then they hear a snowmobile, and then there's Hillbilly without a hat.
No hats here.
No hat is here. He's got rescue gear on.
Yeah, he's got the little Red Cross type jacket on, and he's got a backpack, and his snowmobile's all dressed to the nines with gear, right?
Yeah. Ready to save.
And this part, I gave up after this.
Exactly, because they're not in fight or flight. Okay, they've had time. Like they should have crashed. They should have crashed and be willing. Like I do not like it, and I've seen too many movies like this where it's like a simple conversation would stop this entire film, and that's why they don't do it because they can't have that simple conversation. Because if they do, we don't have any more conflict.
Well, here's what I think it is from their perspective. They think that, as the viewer should think, that those guys are the pursuing them, right?
Yeah.
Is he really the safety guy? Did he take out the safety guy to get to us? Like, has it been him the whole time? So there's all these kind of crazy thoughts. He even addresses it. I think they go, "Oh no, it's No Hat. He's the fucking medic or whatever. What the fuck?
The racist bastard is here to rescue us."
So, and here's the thing.
Hell no, he's not going to rescue us. He's out to kill. Like they think this guy's out to kill them.
Right, and he has the same rifle, so to make the audience believe and to make them believe. And then our couple goes out the back door and just kind of dips. They kind of wait, watch. If it was me, I know this guy's a turd. He can't move. My David's fucked, right?
Yeah.
She's pretty much undamaged. She's probably. I mean, they're probably like.
I mean, emotionally,
they're probably running on so much adrenaline when you see that guy. I was like, this is it. Let's jack this motherfucker. He doesn't know you're in there. He doesn't know it's you. You have the element of surprise through and through. He's got that rifle on his back. There's no way he's pulling that thing through with that kind of gun, cocking it, aiming it, pulling up on you or you let you guys just stand there and eat it. So I thought they were going to be like, hey, come on in. I'm David. I'm hurt. He's going to be like, what? Oh, David, this is that guy. He's hurt. So now, No Hat, his defenses would be lowered because he doesn't feel that it's a threat. Or he might be like, ooh, where's your girl? And then she has a log or like, I don't know, anything and cracks this motherfucker in the back of the head. We get the snowmobile and the movie's over.
Yeah.
And then we go to the cops going, hey, these guys just shot my boyfriend. Look at him. They used a bear trap on him. They were going to rape me. Just started piling it on. And this guy was posing as this guy. And the other guy, and then they would be like, oh, shit. Oh, shit. They didn't do any of that.
Hey, No Hat guy he's actually on the search and rescue. He's one of our best search and rescuers.
There was a pot and pan. There was a stove. Like, dude, I would boil some fucking snow or some water and I throw it in his fucking face when he opened the door and go, hey, hot enough for you? And as he's screaming, as his flesh peels off, I put my foot in his nuts and watch him go out to the top of his head. And I'd just start whooping his ass. I'd be like, David, with your shitty arm, you want to grab the gun or maybe log this guy or something?
Well, here's the thing, though, Kevin. We know David's been established to be a coward who wants to avoid conflict. Yeah. You're telling me he wouldn't just have the most awkward conversation of like, sorry, we keyed your car. Will you please save us?
Well, he has that later, but he should have had that like just breakdown conversation of I'm a pitiful loser. Just please don't kill us. And the guy'd been
exactly. And he'd be like, what are you talking about? I'm a red herring. I'm not here to kill you.
And then everybody had been like, oh, like I shouldn't have had my girlfriend hit you in the back of the head with a log and give you just like
exactly, and that's
load of brain damage.
I mean, that's the whole problem with this. And so eventually they run away. He's just like, hey, he sees them kind of like hiding in like what's very obviously like, I was like, if that's not like where a sniper's sitting, that's probably where an animal is sleeping. And sure enough, there's a big CG bear sleeping down in this cave that they've crawled into very obviously. And so Nadja is just like, fucking gat, motherfucker. Here's a flare on you. And this guy, worst stop, drop, and roll ever.
Well, dude, he's probably like, what just hit me? Because he kind of can't see where they're at. They're kind of in the bush line. And he keeps getting closer and closer. And then you just see the flare go right in his chest. And he's like, what did I just get hit? A flare? Oh, I'm on fire.
Yeah, but he just falls on his back and is just like, roast me.
Yeah, I liked it. I mean, yeah, I don't know about his terrain.
Coat off, you asshole.
Who knew? I don't know. Who knows? You get shot with a flare unbeknownst, and then see if you don't go up with your triple fat goose.
Well, I'm taking the jacket off. That's the first thing I'm doing. If something's on fire, I'm taking it off. I'm not leaving it on and hoping for the best. No, this is custom. So, and then they're like, fucking cheese it. Let's get on the snowmobile. And David's just like, I'm real fucking useless. I know that we could save a lot of walking on the snowmobile. but we're gonna have to
Don't
run.
those snowmobiles have like the stretchers?
Yes,
that you like hook up to the back and you can drag them?
It did.
Oh, I was just checking.
No, I did. And David was just like, "Nah, I ride shotgun or nothing."
I mean, how about I just tie this rope around your waist and drag your ass? Because
no, I ride shotgun or nothing. Like I get my free grind on. Okay, I want you to feel my snow boner through my snow pants. Okay?
I'm like, dude, I've seen you drive. You're not driving anything. You're awful.
He's like, shotgun means I ride, not drive. Come on now.
Fuck
Snow
you, David.
boner. He's just like, I'm trying really hard to. I want twins. They're like, David, you know that's not how it works.
David, you don't have enough blood left in your body to make your
get an erection.
Okay, now we're all like a doctor. Now you have an erection. When you're screaming, boner,
first
boner this, boner that.
Can't sew my arm up, but you can tell me if I can pop a snow boner or not. Oh, I'll show you. Starts pulling, and she's like, "This is really embarrassing for both of us." The guy's on fire. He's just like, I could see it a little bit. Try harder. He's just like, don't tell me how to motivate my dick, you jackass.
Yeah.
But so they're back on foot. Yeah, they just ignore this snowmobile, leave this man for dead. Yeah, when I saw that, I was just like, he's on fire. He's not in a rush. He's not chasing you. Take the time.
If I shot him with a flare and his chest's on fire, I'm picking up anything, frozen bear turd, and maybe I'll take a gun.
Up the bear? I don't know.
I played PUBG. I got a frying pan. Why did you light the bear on fire? Did you
get an angry fire bear out there?
What's wrong? Play too many games, man. That's not a real thing. You're just gonna kill
it. It is when you light a bear on fire. That becomes a fire bear.
You're gonna point to this guy and bear it was him, the guy that's on fire. See the
you're sure the bear's gonna see another guy on fire, but like, whoa, dude, we're not in this together. We're fighting to the fire death. Okay, you lit me on fire and caught yourself on fire. I'm gonna use bear logic, fight you to death. That's bear law.
That's stupid bear fire logic. Bears don't understand fire or logic.
Well, that's why they're probably just gonna attack the first thing they see on fire as well.
Why did they take his gun, dude? Why did they try harder with the snowmobile?
Because he was on fire. Well, there's a lot of... they instantly suck a lot again, okay?
Dude, the coat's on fire. I would just be like, you know what? I'd kick him over, roll him over, and I'd take the gun. If this meant my life, I'm going to...
roll him over again.
He wasn't a gas man. He's not going to burn forever. Just kick him over. It's going to snuff some of the fire out. You take the rifle, you cave his skull in, or you shoot him, or you fucking nut up and stop being a victim.
Or just have a conversation. Like,
no, dude, if I shoot you with the flare, we're not talking. We're no longer.
No, I meant before the flare part. I'm not saying talk after. Yeah, usually the conversation's over when you shoot a flare at someone, Kevin. If I show up at your house and I'm just like, flare up, motherfucker, I'm not going to be like, so what are you doing this weekend? No, I shot a flare at you. That's the end of the conversation. Probably getting plastic surgery to regraft my face that you melted horribly.
Shot me in the face too. Fucked up.
I mean, yeah, it's gonna get up there eventually. Heat rises, dumbass. Anyway, so they're back on foot, and now David is he's having some heavy metal dreams. He grabs his head, falls to the ground, starts screaming. He's thinking of his first rock concert. It wasn't Limp Bizkit, and that's why he's real disappointed.
Oh. He
and then
falls over and realizes he sucks.
Yeah, he's just like, I'm having a real fucking attack right now. And she's just like, come on, asshole. Like, I know that you've been attacked by a bear trap, shot, beaten hypothermia, and now I have you running through the woods again. But you really got to get up, okay? We can't keep taking breaks every 5 minutes. We're going to die. Eventually, they find this cabin that the bartender mentioned. He's like, come visit me at my cabin if you're out in the woods and have traveled across half the country. And Dave's just like, I can't go on. Just leave me and come back after you get like some help. I'm seeing this figure of this like yellow coated person. We can't really tell at this point that what the age or whatever. Like we're starting to see that it's probably a little boy. And I will say, I was like, oh, good on you, movie, because you're kind of giving this whole like, is that their child in the future? And he's seeing that like fading from his grasp of like, he's not going to meet this child. Like, that's what I wanted to kind of believe. I was like, oh, that'd be interesting.
Oh, okay.
You
I
know?
just thought it was the only kid that was ever brought up in the movie.
Yep.
This is like, listen, movie, you're not trying to be smart. You're not trying to be cute. I know what you're going to do. And then it was like, I remember that time I mentioned a kid. And I'm like, I do. Because I was paying
I'm
attention.
the only person that mentioned a kid.
Is this my reward? They're like, we're going to hit him with a car. And I'm like, all right, man.
And we're not there yet. Come on.
No, let's get there. Fuck that.
No, because our hat hillbilly has to show up.
Nah, I think you need to fix the movie by doing this part so it's more impactful when you get to the other part. And that's another part. That was another reason I should say that it annoyed me at the end. I was just like, why didn't you make this more sequential and it would have had a lot better impact.
So they basically destroy the hillbilly races that the movie wants you to try to believe are bad guys. Like, they easily handle both of them. They get to this cabin. Jarma is there. Jarma's like, oh shit, what are you guys doing here? And then Jarma makes a phone call and he's just like, yeah, they're here. Yeah, fucking hurry up. And he does not seem good. He doesn't seem good with this. And she's just like, who the fuck did you call? And pulls a knife on him. She's like, who'd you call? And then they lock themselves in what could only be called the stalker room. And then here's the reveal. Someone's been watching them. Someone's been watching them for a very long time. Do you have any ideas who it could be, audience? As I let Kevin tell us who it is?
It's the only other character left in the movie.
It's the only other character left in the movie that we met. It's the third character. The fourth character we met, because we met Toilet Professor.
You don't count. That was a fucking walk-on.
He fucking certainly counts, okay? He was there for the most romantic proposal.
He's there for like 2
Sweden.
Seasons. He's a fucking loser.
He tried to grab his butt, and then he wiped his cum hand on him, okay?
Dude, what the fuck?
He wiped his cum... Oh, sorry, his love hand. So he was the professor of love. It's Tomas. Tomas is there. And they're like, hey, neighbor, what's going on? And then the only interesting part of the movie happens part of the only interesting part. So yeah, we see that after graduation, Nadja was, a little frisky, a little excited about the engagement.
Wait, look, time out. You want to talk about an old dude in the bathroom jacking off, but you can't say his wife was going to give him a hand job blowy in the car?
There. I was about to say roadhead, but you interrupted, Kevin.
You want to talk about an old dude eating his fucking meat in the bathroom?
Call me a romantic, but I wanted to set the fucking stage, okay? I wanted everyone to get into
You're just into old dudes whacking it and wiping it on dudes instead of a loving relationship that's not built out of weird shit.
What are you talking about? I was literally setting the table for them, okay, Kevin? I was painting a picture, and then you were just like, roadhead.
You know what? Everyone's
talking about old man cum hands, but he won't say roadhead.
Old man cum. You're giving them names now? You give them a name every time you bring it up.
You said that. I just repeated it.
Everyone read Stephen King's Thinner. She gets a blowy. They hit a gypsy. He gets cursed. I get it. This is the same thing.
It pretty much is. So, yeah, David takes his eyes off the road because he has the most impossible belt, the worst belt possible for that day. It kept his pants up, but it kept his fiance away.
The sight line on this road, this kid is wearing a yellow neon jacket. The sight line of this road is you probably could see for 1,000,000 miles on this road. What are you looking at driving? Are you the worst driver? Who gave this guy a license?
He's the worst driver. I would never let him drive again. After seeing this, I was like, Nadja, why was he behind the wheel ever again? Why would you ever get in the car with him?
I blamed her for letting him drive.
Yeah.
Like, imagine his insurance. His deductible. It's like... This guy,
Kevin, we know that his insurance is low because he drives away from every accident, okay?
Insurance companies, well, they're not dropping him like a bad habit.
He has the general because he knows what he's working with, okay?
The general's like, hey, man, we don't let you hit kids. That's just not cool.
Hey, ever since we got Shaq on board, we don't do that.
Hey,
pre-Shaq, you could have hit a kid that kept us, but now...
Get your ass to insurance, bro. I cannot help you.
He's just like, whoa, 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 we got bought by Allstate. No, no.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. That's not progressive. See what I did there? We don't let you hit kids with progressive. Check us out. Unless you're a David, then don't fuck with us.
Yeah, so David, he plows right through this kid. This kid has a beautiful flip-plop over the car.
Flip-plop-flip.
Flip-plop-flip.
Flip-plop-flip some of that fucker. And you were like, judges?
And like 10s all around, even from the fucking French judge. French judge is like, if I could give an 11.
It would be yours.
It would be. He's like, here, I'm going to do it. I'm just going to hold up the 1 and the 10.
If this was an anime, that kid would be driving a mecha or somewhere and fucking shit up. But then we killed him.
he would still be dead. So
no, his other reveal would come to life and avenge him. His soul would be in the drone.
Nah, it'd still probably be his dad. Yeah, and so Nadja gets out. Like David's just like they're in shock, and this is
it's like it's just a Tuesday for me.
He's like, this is just a Tuesday, you know. He's like, that's what insurance is for, Nadja. Okay,
no, babe,
let's just
You
go.
do this all the time. You just keep going.
He's like, you think this is the first kid in yellow I've hit on this road?
I hit a pink kid yesterday.
I mean, I keep asking to put up a fence to keep these fuckers out, but they won't. So
I read a whole bus of them off a cliff a couple of weeks ago. I've been busy. Am I the worst character?
You think I didn't fall asleep on this road driving it every day? No, I did.
Did you ever see that Michael Keaton Snowman movie?
He's like, did I? I mean, I keep fucking waiting for one of these little fuckers to come back and teach me a magical snow lesson.
And Jack Frost these kids right off a cliff.
He's like, I Jack Frost all of them. They're like, this is starting to sound real weird. She goes, she checks on the boy, who's very dead.
She gives him thumbs up.
She's like,
you got him.
You fucking landed it. Like, you thumbs up for the kid, thumbs up for you, David. Like, oh my God.
That's a clean kill. Point visitor.
Yeah. She's like, we need to call someone. David's like, let's just drive for a few minutes.
Let's just shake it off with a
and clear our heads. And then David proceeds to get up to speed on this highway. Like, and she's just like, we need to go back. And he's like,
he's resting.
It's, I mean, you hit one kid, you hit them all. Like, what? This is go. This is go. Let's just never look back. And now, audience, I want you to remember, a year and a half after this, they got married still.
I don't know if I'm marrying you, dude.
I don't know if we can ever look at each other again. I think we just have to part ways and just like take this secret to our grave,
Like, if you eat all my cereal, I'll be upset, but I'll
get over it.
I'll persevere.
More cereal. But if we murder a child on a highway together, do you drive off? I think that's like, I don't know if I'm going to introduce you to my parents.
I don't know if I could love again, is basically where I'm at.
It's kind of like, I think I understand why Nadja yells at David a lot.
Well, and that was my whole thing. It was like, well, David's kind of like a dumb piece of shit, right?
Yeah.
And he's an aloof. He just kind of does stuff. He's just like, oh, what happened, dude? But Nadja's like, I took her as the smart one.
Yeah,
and she just kept letting his dumb shit
and doctors have to take oaths about like this exact shit of not leaving people to die when you could help them. And she's just like, I guess we keep driving. Let's adopt a dog. Let's name him Boris after the boy. I assume that's his name.
It was I just didn't understand. I kind of just lost faith in these characters. I went out the window.
Yeah. So that's reveal / twist number 1. And then we pull back and Tomas is like, you fuckers. And they're like, dude, don't kill us. They're begging at this point because they're just like, oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit. And then twist number 2, let's flash back to Tomas. Tomas has got a new drone. There's his son wearing yellow. Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no.
I kind of like this part. They're kind of playing with it, and Because you're just kind of like, dude, was he just like waiting, watching the whole time? And then they were like, hey, remember that time we killed a kid? He was like, what?
What? Tell me more. Pours another bottle of wine. I'll get revenge for them. Oh, it happens to be my kid. Even better. More wine.
Yeah, and then you kind of slowly see the reveal of the drone kind of showed the license plate. He figured together. He just Googled a plate because, Sweden.
Apparently in Sweden you can do that.
That's what big whatevs. And
they're like, we're all hackers.
So he's doing his thing. He's getting all his animosity and his hurt.
Let's talk about his kid just runs out into the highway to stare at a drone. I was like, what the fuck, dude? If I'm a dad flying a drone, I'm not leading my kid towards the highway if I see his dumbass fucking following it. I'm going to bring it back closer to me.
Even so, like if the drone is he's following it through the forest and it kind of breaks out towards the road, and then a murder takes place, a vehicular homicide from Dingus. And you're like, I don't want to say everyone's to blame, but I'm really looking at David. It's like, dude, keep your eyes on the road. Like, it wasn't like she was like riding your shit and you blocking you from the road or something.
This
you know what I mean?
Charlie Sheen in The Chase, okay?
I never saw that.
Where they had sex going 90 running from the cops.
I never saw that.
You should watch that movie.
I won't.
Wonderful.
I don't believe you.
No, it is. It's good.
Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just like, Tomas, like, what the fuck, man? You know that this highway's there. We don't, obviously all it took was one guy. Like, yes, David is 100% to blame. They should have stopped. They should have done the right thing. They didn't.
I mean, it's just
like the father
American...
has to be feeling some fucking guilt. Like,
I assume so. I think his whole hurt sphere is kind of just alive with pain and anger and regret and blame and all that stuff. But it's the American equivalent is like they're just playing catch with the old pigskin, and then he kind of throws a long bomb to little Joey, and little Joey runs out and splatter, right?
Yeah.
What are you gonna do? Like sue the NFL? So
he's like, can I? Yes, I would love to.
Shows up in court.
This is an NFL official game day ball. Okay. All right. If I hadn't thrown this shit, if the spiral on this wasn't so goddamn tight,
I'll see you in court, Jerry Jones.
He's just like, oh,
you're America's team.
You're America's team. Suck it. All your team sucks. Eat a dick. He's like, oh.
So I could see that. So I didn't really mind that angle, and I thought the reveal to the audience of the drone, letting him see it, is like I appreciated that a little bit. Where I was like, well, at least it just wasn't him on some crazy vendetta. How would he get this information or even remotely know?
Yeah, exactly. But here's where Tomas kind of goes off the rails. So he finds them. He starts following them. Then he moves in and becomes their neighbor. But the weird thing is, early in the movie, they're sharing the communal washing in our laundry room. But we find out Tomas lives in the other fucking building across the street. But we see over the course of this year and a half that they've been in the city, they've grown. Like, they're having dinners with each other. They're laughing. They're doing games. It's very... it's just so kind of strange to me that...
He's laying the groundwork, dude. He's building up this undoubtable trust.
God, what the torture that he puts himself through is kind of insane.
On that topic, how I perceived it, and I think he was really kind of looking for forgiveness, right? I think he wanted to be able to forgive them and just be like, you know what? Maybe if I get to know them and care for them and understand them, I can let that anger go and not do what I really, really want to do, is eradicate these guys because I'm so fucking upset. Because you do have good scenes of him just kind of dealing with the pain, and those are great scenes. And it slowly just morphs into this revenge that he's just becomes obsessed with. And I would like to chalk it up to that, of him just trying to be like, you know what? Let me try not to be that person. Fuck it. And then it kind of just became real maniacal, real methodical. And You see him give the little invitation to the cabin thing to David, and he's just like, "Oh well, I'll give this to her, and we'll be able to make up that weekend." So he starts planting all these seeds. He starts lining them up how he wants them to line up, where he can put them in the middle.
He finds out they're having a kid. That's when he's like, "Okay, initiate plan."
Yeah, initiate, feel like me, resentment, anger, hate, commence.
Yeah. So then, all of our reveals are out. It's been Tomas the whole time. It wasn't our rednecks. And Nadja is just like, no, like, Tomas, you're our friend. You're our neighbor. Like, we're so sorry. We should have done the right thing. And he's just like, you know what? Boop. Gun to the head. Just knocks your ass out. They wake up. I guess it's the next day. He says good morning. I don't know if it's sarcastic or if it actually time had passed. I assume just time had passed and he was being a dick. And then David's holding a drill. And again, she's just like, come on, this isn't you. We're sorry. Don't do this. This isn't, like, we'll go to the cops. We'll tell them everything. That's what we should have done. We'll do it. We'll do it. And he's just like, listen, he's either going to drill your baby out or I'm going to shoot him. So typical David, he can't do it. So he gets shot again. And you're just like, Jesus, David.
Well, yeah, because he's pushing him. He's like, it's either A or B right now, man. And he's just like, please don't. She's still concussed. She's like, I don't know what's happening.
Yeah.
But she sees the tension building. It kind of gets a little Saw-ish here, where it's just like he wants that sweet revenge.
Yeah.
And he's like, I can't do it, dude. And he's like, all right, well, I'm going to shoot you point blank with this rifle right through your knee. And I was like, this guy is getting fucked up.
This guy should be dead 5 times over. Somehow still alive. Our search and rescue guy that was lit on fire somehow lives.
He looks fucked up too. And I was like,
he's fucked up. He's very burned. He's got burn face now. And he's like, what the fuck is going? What did you guys do? What is going? Because his friend / hillbilly brother is stoned. He got stoned. Because they were just like fucking out for blood. And
well, yeah, Nadja was like trying to. She was looking over the hillside, and then Cap, no Cap. This is Cap. Yeah. He was like, "Oh, hey, what's going on?" And then David was like, "Oh, I just clubbed him in the back of the head. He was going to shoot you, right?" I was like,
"Shoot you, right?"
And do you know how guns work? Because he wasn't doing anything gun related with his hand.
When the gun is on your back, usually you can't kill anyone.
He just fucking. Also, I was like, now you want to kill someone, dude? Now you want to start clubbing heads?
Yeah, I mean they were willing and just very willing to kill the 2 guys they deemed racist. I mean, they didn't actually have anything to back that up. We'd have no idea. Could have been them, could not have been them. We just know that that's what the movie wanted. That's what the movie got. And that's the part that bothers me because I'm just like, man, it's such a bad red herring. And you're just like, come on, I didn't buy that for 1 second, but. It sucked even before we got to the reveal, it sucked all the sympathy away from them. Because why am I going to be like, yeah, you guys should survive. Yeah, survive this horrible thing by killing everyone in your path. Like, because that's what they did. They were just like, we're going to kill everything in our fucking path because we're more important. We have to survive. We have a baby on the way. I'm like, well, I think you'll be terrible fucking parents. But
yeah, I agree. It was kind of, to me, the characters were already questionable, and I was like, Yeah. And then they do this, and I'm just like, well, you guys are still kind of at it. It truly turns into a full-blown clusterfuck when No Hat shows up.
Yeah, because they start fighting for guns.
They start fighting. No Hat gets shot.
No Hat gets shot. He shoots fucking Jarma, and I was like, no, not Jarma. He was drinking in the kitchen because he can't handle the stress of the situation. No.
Yeah, he got caught in the throat, so he's donezo. It turns into this crazy, just clusterfuck scramble. David tries to free. Yeah, he frees his girl. They go out, and then he's like, oh man, I forgot. I just got my adrenaline's not going to make this knee work. I just got capped.
He's like, listen, my whole right side of my body is fucked.
And then Dustin, we go to this
on the right, clip on the right, knee on the right.
This fucking snowmobile again.
This goddamn snowmobile. Why did they keep going for the snowmobile if they can't drive the snowmobile? And once again, they're faced with a situation where they have time. They hear one gunshot, and they're like,
who could have got it?
Who could have got it? We don't know. But then, like a solid 30 seconds later, they hear another gunshot. And they're like, all right, we got to abandon this snowmobile. I was like,
do you? Do you?
He is just desperately trying to get up on it. And I was like, you don't have to ride shotgun, David. You don't have to ride shotgun.
He could have just laid over the back seat and just be like, hold on, or you're fucked.
Like,
I don't know how else to tell you.
Just get far enough away and then fucking worry about it. But get some distance, you know? Because this guy's got a rifle and a scope. Get some fucking distance.
And I got no patience.
Yeah. Instead, he's just like, run, go on without me. And she's just like, yeah, okay. And she just runs. She's like, fuck it, I'm out of here. Gets all the way to where they clubbed hat guy.
You see, this is the beginning of our movie now.
Yeah, this is the beginning. He's like, she's got nothing to do with this. And Tomas is like, she has everything to do with this, dude. So we see another little flashback where she wanted to call the cops, and David was like, no. The general will drop me. You cannot call the popo. Mm-hmm. All right? Just let's get married, have a miserable year and a half, and then we'll, die in the mountains. Come on, don't call the cops. And so she comes back, and she's just like, who's got a rifle now, Tomas? I mean, sure, you're a fucking great shot and all, but who's got a rifle now? I got the jump on you. Tomas is like, you should really have turned around. Pop. Nadja's down. She's just been shot in the head.
There's another sniper in the green, Dustin.
There's another sniper in the green. Because usually it takes two people to make a child, Kevin. Just, And lo and behold, it's Mona. And now Mona's actions of she's seen the two people that killed her son.
Oh, maybe that's why she was so upset. You dumb protagonist.
You guys just assumed it was racism because two creepy guys at a gas station talked about banging your wife. And then you made a lot of assumptions that led to a lot of bad decisions, all because you couldn't communicate. But hey, they might have been being racist towards you. So definitely don't have any sort of dialogue or discourse with them ever, Never figure it out or just try to educate them to figure out if that's indeed what was happening. You fucking kid killers, you. So, nope. And then David screams to have himself murdered, and this is probably the only part of the movie I liked, Kevin. I don't know about you.
Yeah.
But Tomas is just like, yeah, now you get it. Now you feel what we feel. And they fucking leave him. They're like, you'll live. And I was like, okay, I don't think he will, but, fine. Okay, movie, fine. I mean, he got shot twice, hypothermia, and the bear trap on the arm. Sure, he'll live, whatever.
Well, they didn't say for how long, but he'll live long enough to kind of let all this sink in.
I mean, if he really, there's plenty of guns lying around, I would just be like, okay, Cobain, I'm coming to see you. Cherry pie in the sky.
Who's Cobain?
Whatever, Kurt Cobain. Cobain, there we go.
Kurt Cobain. I don't know. You're really emphasizing the wrong syllables of his name.
Whatever, man. I'm just trying to stick with the theme of
dated reference.
Yes, dated 90s, early aught references. Okay, but yeah, and then the movie just that's it. They just walk away. I really liked Tomas's just delivery of saying, like, now you get it. Like, when you guys were pleading and begging for your lives, you didn't get it. You didn't fucking get it. You didn't feel what we felt, the torture and the torment of surviving. You didn't get it. Now you do, though. You never get to meet that child, and your wife is dead. And you had every opportunity to not have it in this way, David. Every opportunity. So... and then boom, just, credits.
88 minutes later, you're done.
Yeah. So, I mean, just a lot of things for sure I'd fix in this is some pacing. I would just abandon this whole, racist manhunt thing. It just, that's so horrible. for
it's
the story.
I know what it's, but the thing is, we know what it's trying to do. It's
Yeah,
trying to make you think it's one thing while it's another, and that's fine. I
but
just
then
think
do
it
it
could have
better though.
do it better. I can agree to that. I th- uh, I don't know. I think the story would have been a lot more interesting if you did it sequentially. It wouldn't have been we're trying to rely on this swerve or this kind of red herring. I
Yeah,
think it would have been a lot more intense to see what the characters really do and how it shapes them over time to have this secret or this burden, and how do they, like, what did they really do? But then in the movie it's just kind of like, well, I guess they just pushed it in the back of their mind, and it slowly started to wear on her, but not too much, because I guess,
yeah.
and then maybe see his long con, and then maybe that would have built up to be like, oh man, he's gonna fuck them up. I can see this
Yeah.
happen, and I think that
Well,
would have built up to a better crescendo, and then
yeah. I
still
mean,
not knowing, only we know, and we can see it kind of meet, or they gets to that, that peak. I don't know. I think that might have been a little bit more interesting, but who's to say?
I think you're. I mean, what I would have personally done, I would have flipped it. I would have made the swerve him hunting them at the end. I would have, like you said, kept the start with, like, you want to start an action, start with killing a fucking kid in the highway. Like, there
Yeah,
you go, you're starting an
yeah,
action, and then show it's more about the father, and then but you show him, like, the swerve is that you think he's going to forgive them. Like, he starts off with a revenge, but then he becomes a friend, and then so you're going through and you're showing all these moments where he's like almost like this guiding force in their relationship that's going through hell because they murdered his son, and he just starts to, like, strangely bond with him, and you're just like, dude, this guy, what the fuck is up with him? And then boom, the swerve is the last half hour, he's hunting them to death, and he's hunting them. They're running through the snow, and you keep all that of them, running through the snow and all that shit, but just not as much. And then at the end, yeah, boom, he kills her, and he's just like, no. He's like, shoot me, and he's just like, no. And then he just walks away, and that's it.
yeah.
You can keep almost the same core elements. It's
I
almost
think
like
it
they
would
were in
just,
love with the setting more than the story. And
yeah.
so
Your story is more of that whole movie happens in the last act, where
exactly,
they
yeah.
were more of like, hey, we have this gimmick. What would you do if you're in the middle of nowhere and the red dots on you? You know what I mean? I could see that conversation be the startup, and you're
Yeah,
like,
but
oh,
then
and
they
then
only
you
did it
build some.
once, so it was just like, okay. And then apparently what they would do is get out of their tent and be like, hello,
Well, I mean,
hi.
after a while, it's like you see the monster too much. You can't keep red dotting, because then I just don't care. I'm
Yeah,
And your characters have to really react a certain way to incite that fear and almost create said tension, and they can only do it so much before you check out on the characters of like, oh my god, stop doing the same things. Like I said, the whole fight or flight thing, it's
yeah.
weird. It's a very tough balance. It's probably very hard to do these movies interesting, because like you said, they've been done so many times. What's the
So many
gimmick?
times, yeah.
What's the gimmick? How do I make these characters likable? How do I have compassion for them all in the same breath? You can't just, it's not like the new Tomb Raider games. I don't feel compassion for her just because she gets her ass beat up all the time and falls off of shit. Like, that's not a character trait, I can't relate to that. I'm just like, oh, I feel compassion because you got hurt. It's, I want to pull for you, but now you're telling me you're pieces of shit human beings,
Yeah.
and I've seen you've been pieces of shit to this point. I'm really kind of not, I don't really care either way about you. I guess I could have that overall human compassion, but then I see what got us here, and then I'm kind of like, maybe this Thomas guy's right. Tomas,
Yeah,
my bad. Don't
exactly.
shoot me.
Like, I didn't really fault him at that point, It's just like, well, yeah, I mean, his revenge feels very justified, and sure, he could have done it the legal way too. He could have told the cops, turned in the footage, and they could have come for him. But then you also don't have a movie as well.
Yeah, I get it. So it feels like it was a high concept or a high concept conversation. They were like, all right, well, we like this part. How do we build a story around it? All right, let's have these characters do X, Y, and Z. Let's try to have fun with it and mix this into it. Like you said, it doesn't hurt the movie, maybe a little bit, but
Yeah.
it just doesn't make it interesting. It's a big pass for me. I wouldn't waste your time.
Yeah, unfortunately, I agree with that 100%. I just think it's a pass. Like, if you've seen anything even remotely similar to this, where it's just like, you know, just unwarranted confusion causes the entire movie, I just find these movies really to be dull and boring. Like, there's so much things they could have done with the red dot to not make it boring, but then they just, use it once and give it the title. So it's a pass for me as well.
Well, pass. Well, there you guys go. That's another Us versus Movies. You did it. We're proud of you. I'm proud of you, Dustin. Hope you're proud of me.
Proud of you. Very proud of you.
We'll
not for this movie, but for other reasons.
I had nothing to do with this movie, except for we were kind of running out of movies, and I was like, "What's this?" And you're like, "Oh, we're watching it." I'm like, "Okay, let's watch Red Dot."
It's got a great title.
It's a real slim pickings out there, but we'll see what we can do next week. If you want to see and or listen to older episodes, it's on the YouTube. It's on your favorite podcast provider. It's Us versus Movies. We try to do this every week. Appreciate you checking it out. Tell your friends if you dig it. If not, we understand.
No, we don't. You're an asshole. Fucking listen.